This is going to get worse. And it is vitally important that we never forget why this started again. Victoria was no different than the rest of the country, where we were able to have a dam wall between the people who were coming back in from overseas and the rest of the community. Those people stayed behind that dam wall for 2 weeks. If they tested positive, they would stay behind those closed walls. But as you know, there is an inquiry, which the Premier has been hiding behind for some time, that is the full story, the full responsibility of what happened here. It happened while I was away last week, but this is a grab that you are going to see almost every night on this show, because every time I tell you what's happening in Victoria, never forget, this is the fact. Who broke the damn wall? These people broke the damn wall.
It may even be that every case of COVID-19 in Victoria in recent weeks could be sourced to the hotel quarantine program.
Those 4 faces I showed you, the 10 people who died today, the many more who will die in the future days, the hundreds who have it, the thousands who are afraid they will have it, and the millions who are effectively locked in their homes in suburban Melbourne. It all goes back to one thing: a decision of government. Someone is responsible for the decision about who was the guard. Now, I was always sceptical about whether or not it should be members of the ADF. I thought that it should have been members of the Victoria Police. The idea that it wasn't members of the Victoria Police, instead, it was a private security firm. And we learn more and more today, and we've got to keep talking about this, about what was going on in those quarantine areas. What was happening? Who were the people who were being scooped up? Well, apparently they were being recruited via social media apps like WhatsApp, and they were being paid as little as $18 an hour, given about 5 minutes training. This is one of the hotels where many of the patients, they are now patients, but formerly returned travellers were. It's the Ridges on Swanson. An anonymous guard told The Age this weekend that security guards used to eat together. They hugged together. When he started working at the Ridges on Swanson, I didn't know that all of the guests living in rooms were confirmed COVID patients. Seriously? Guards were instructed to take these people for walks on the rooftop area, and guards just wore a mask and they shared lifts with these people. Same guard continues. When all this comes into the news, the government decided an inquiry about this. They gave us forms to fill up. What does that mean? Have a look. Now, apparently the security companies that gave you 5 minutes training, that didn't tell you that the people you were guarding had coronavirus, were trying to get the very people who they had hired the night before via WhatsApp to sign confidentiality agreements. That's the documents they wanted people to fill up. And only because they were caught with their dodginess. This isn't just about the guards who were rooting the people inside there. It's not just about the guards who didn't have enough knowledge or training. It's about their bosses who employed them, who went on to rip off the Victorian taxpayer. It's up to the bureaucrats who decided to sign these documents, the minister who told the bureaucrats to do it, and yes, the Premier to be ultimately responsible. So you don't get to skip out of this. You don't get to say that we've learnt our lessons, as if no one around the heart of power in Victoria wasn't immediately the people responsible for cracking the damn wall. The damn wall that has gone on to kill 10 people today. This will be the end of many a career, and it is thoroughly deserved. Now, I get it. There are some people that are a little bored, a little eye-rolled about here we go again by bashing up the Victorian government. No, this is called accountability. Think about it in your workplace, or think about it if it was the government investigating you for something that went on to kill people. The Victorian government have introduced laws that say that the people who are the board members of a building company are personally responsible if there is a death on a building site. So the same logic applies to the very government that made the decision that resulted in where we are today.